look. I mean, seriously, do you really need your lungs?
We'll give you
You've
24
got two
hours
of them.
free
You've got two
access
of them
to
for a
Pornhub.
reason, all right? Like I have 5 tires, but you see me using only 4. All right.
See,
And
God
they're
gave you 2 lungs because He wants you to smoke.
Yeah,
And otherwise He wouldn't give you 1.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Boys Banter. We're on episode 6 now.
Yeah.
And this one here might as well be episode 420. See what I did there? You
Who's
see
got
what
the
I did there?
reference?
Yeah, so as says by the title, guys, we're actually here to talk about, I don't know if it's a sensitive topic in New Zealand, but it's definitely something that has been around for as long as I've been alive in this country,
the
right?
debate of it.
The debate. And then we're talking about marijuana.
Yeah.
We're talking about cannabis sativa, weed, DAC.
Cannabis indica.
Yep.
That's the other one.
Devil's lettuce.
Well, there's 2 of them. You know.
Wacky Backy.
Wacky Backy.
That's my favourite.
Yeah, Wacky Backy. What else?
None of our terms. We don't use any of our terms.
That thing I see the neighbour have. Uncle Bully's. Okay, yeah. There's a whole bunch of
Heaps of names.
nicknames for it, but we're going to talk about the stance what New Zealand has on marijuana compared to what
The rest of the world.
the rest of the world has. You know,
And where we're kind of going as well.
Where we're here.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're behind the 8 ball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really?
That's what happens when you're in a small country. We're pretty much run by Australia because whatever they do, we do.
And the other
I
thing
think
is,
this is the first time we're ever going to do something without worrying about them.
Yeah.
But I think it's already legal in some states in Australia.
Well, in Australia.
Yeah, I believe so. I think there's a couple of states that have it legalized.
I'm not too sure.
I don't know about that one. But,
Sure.
But the whole reason why we're doing this is because our ex-homegirl, Auntie Helen Clark.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
who are you talking
Yeah, I'm
about?
like, which home girl is going to delve in on the podcast?
Did Morgan move out?
Yeah. So Helen Clark went on the news and she's putting a stern stance out there supporting New Zealand's referendum.
This is the stance that they're taking, I guess.
for voting in marijuana on next year 2020's election. So she's actually quite huge, not just for New Zealand, for the entire world. She's like on the United Nations. I'm pretty sure she ran the Justice League for about 3 months when Superman went away on holiday. So she's been around, you know. Helen Clark, she knows her stuff. So she went on nationwide TV, and I'm not too sure because that was today. So we're just trying to feel what the nation feels about backing marijuana.
And it'd be good to see what you guys think as well, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely
at the end of
comment
the day,
below.
I'm sure.
For or against?
Yeah, for or
don't-
against.
Yeah, I know some dumb comments say, "Oh, Blaze, when I watch this, bro."
Yeah.
You know,
Make sure you
like,
smash like.
yeah. So yeah, first thing is marijuana good for our country?
I would say yes, it is.
I would say there's nothing good, and there's no good and bad. I think it all comes in. It has its good and its bad. It's down to the people to pick and choose what they want. If you want to take the bad on, it's going to affect you badly. If you want to take the good on, it's going to affect you well.
Yeah.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, look at what's still legal out there: cigarettes.
Yep.
Alcohol.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Cigarettes mainly, right? So it's not
And alcohol.
Alcohol is far worse. Alcohol is far worse than cigarettes as well. That's the other thing.
So some key things that we're going to talk about is that basically what people under the age of 18 can get their hands on. In New Zealand, it's a statistic where it's like you're more likely to smoke marijuana in New Zealand under the age of 18 than in any other country.
Well, don't know about any other country.
Not any other country, per capita of any other country.
Sure. For our population.
Because the population
We're
system.
talking about us because we're only 4 million here.
Yeah,
So,
5 now, I'm pretty sure.
and statistics say 1 million New Zealanders smoke weed.
And I think
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
And I think the other
Imagine
reason-
1 million people
just
buying $20 a day.
Imagine how much revenue is going to come into your country's economy.
That's $1 million
really.
a day.
Yeah.
And it's not
That's
just that.
$365 million a year.
And it's not just that. The moment this
That's a quarter of a billion.
More. That's
the
a third of a
marijuana
billion.
industry comes
Terrible
in.
maths.
That's the other thing, is that we're going to also be including other people for employment opportunities.
That's
That's
right.
the other thing that it opens up
Yes.
immediately. Not only are you contributing to the country's economy, but you're also contributing to people's own pockets.
True.
Correct.
And you're increasing employment in the country.
And the funny thing is that, like, when you think about cigarettes, I don't know any motherfucker that's getting paid from any cigarette company to do anything.
I think we actually knew someone who worked for a cigarette company.
I think they all come from overseas.
No, there was we
there's only...
used to know that guy, and he used to work for the company who brings cigarettes in.
You mean
his job was
VAT?
to...
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like I know that guy that worked for cigarettes. I'm like that homeless dude that like washed windows for cigarettes. That's like I'm talking about.
No, Uncle.
I'm talking about like on the cigarette payroll. So
yeah, there was one guy I knew, and we knew him. We partied with him a few times. Anyways,
okay.
I knew him all the time because he had cigarettes.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew him. I was like, he's the go-to guy.
Yeah.
And his job was to accept calls from people who were wanting to quit. So he didn't work for Quitline. He worked for the actual cigarette company. And when they wanted to quit,
and he's like,
he would send more packets.
He's the retention
He's
dude
the
when you
devil,
try
mate.
and
He's like,
you
if-
quit
are you
Vodafone
sure?
to go to 2 degrees. He's like that.
Hey,
but
let's
he's
top
like,
up your phone, $20.
Yeah.
He's
Right
like,
now.
look. I mean, seriously, do you really need your lungs?
We'll give you
You've
24
got two of them.
hours free
You've got
access
two of
to
them for a
Pornhub.
reason, right? Like I have 5 tires, but you see me using only 4. All right,
See,
and
God
they're
gave you 2 lungs because he wants you to smoke.
Yeah,
And otherwise he wouldn't give you 1.
Well, I guess you're. I guess you're right there, man. That's how the conversation would probably go.
something like that.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
So yeah, weird. But yeah, with marijuana, the good points that people brought up against Helen Clark were like, why didn't you bring this up beforehand when you were in power? So a lot of things has happened about marijuana in the last 3 years, 4, 5 years. Biggest thing about it is the amount of money that countries have made from it. Canada being one of them. I think Canada made something like $140 million through taxes in its first year, and they almost ran out of weed.
Not yeah. It was a week.
It was like
Yeah,
it was something
140
disgusting.
million in the first year doesn't make any sense.
No,
Maybe
it
if it was a
week,
billion,
bro.
that
It
would
was
make
yeah.
It was like less than a month because they nearly ran out in
Weed in 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it was in 2 weeks. Yeah. So the amount of money that that could go towards, and like they're thinking like proper stuff where if you're saying no to this, you're actually turning down like
help for mental health.
And
That's
help for
the first-
mental health.
That's where the money should go.
Yep.
Mental health. That's the first
Upgrading
thing.
hospitals.
Yep.
Giving kids lunches and shit.
Yep. Freeing up prisons.
Yeah,
For,
prisons
for harder criminals.
people who have been put into
Freeing
prison.
up prisons.
Yeah, like because the people. So what Helen wants is she wants all the convictions under marijuana to be
yeah.
erased.
Yeah.
So then those people who are already in jail for marijuana get released. Now Paula Bennett said something so dumb, eh?
Oh, of course.
This
Paula
is
Bennett.
what she was getting. This
That's
is what
Paula
she was
Bennett,
getting
yeah.
at. She was saying that some of the people that are in jail for marijuana should be there for other reasons. Now that's wrong because you're pinning a crime on him that you can and then give a maximum sentence for
some-
other
yeah,
crimes
exactly.
they can't get him for.
So if anything, what she's saying is that our judicial system is crap.
Correct. And I was listening to this and it was from her own mouth and I was like, wow, like that's how I take it.
Where
I
else-
don't know if that was correct. I could be wrong. You can comment below if you think I'm wrong.
Where else
but-
would the words come from?
Her
ass.
Oh, there you go. Do you wanna-
Some people do talk out of their ass.
Yeah.
So-
We've talked about that previously.
Paula Bennett doesn't know her asshole from her mouth.
Well, shit.
Hey, hey.
But well, yeah, that's interesting to know. So yeah, all right. America. So they've got California, they've got Las Vegas,
They've got Colorado. Colorado
Yeah.
was the first
one to
yeah.
hit this up. And basically, these guys are making mad amounts of money. They're helping their communities, and hey, this is a really good thing that Helen Clark said today, which I agree on. She's like, look, fucking like 1 in 3 kids, and you might as well put it to that math. 1 in 3 will try marijuana. If the law, before they're 25.
Before they
21.
21.
Before they're 21, that's like
21,
high school
sure.
shit, right? So which means that if you're a parent and you're voting no, chances are
That
that
your
your
kid's
kid
already
is
doing it.
gonna do it anyway,
And may get a criminal
and
charge.
might get fucked up from the law, and their lives are somewhat ruined.
I mean, guys, think about what we're talking about. Your life, you get a criminal record. You get a criminal record for doing criminal activities for smoking a plant. A plant that grows naturally, and what happens when you smoke it? You might feel happier. You might feel like the guy next to you deserves a hug. You might feel that music that's coming out of your radio sounds really good.
Yeah.
You might feel the food you're tasting is brilliant. And what do you get? You get a criminal charge. I mean, think about how stupid and draconian the laws are when it comes down to this.
I like how you put the word cone in there.
Yeah, I also didn't catch that word you said that had more than like 3 syllables. What was it again?
Draconian,
Yeah.
which means like.
It sounds like did you cone yet?
It's appropriate though. Appropriate.
Yeah.
Draconian just means old school and kind of backdated.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Of
sense
course.
in our times anymore.
At the end of the day, I always thought marijuana was going to become legal just because of like that's just how the world's moving.
Yeah.
It doesn't even fucking matter. I don't even care what anyone else really like.
It's gonna
thinks.
happen
Yes,
eventually.
It's gonna happen. It's already
It
happening
might
in the
not
worst
happen this
places ever.
referendum.
No, it might happen.
As the people who are saying no slowly fall off
Yeah.
Into the total blinky blink land.
Yeah, because they're
forever,
getting old.
their vote
Mike
won't
Mc-
count for shit.
Like Mike Hoskins.
Didn't America was the first one to ban it because it's mixed in with slavery and con?
Correct.
That was the
Yeah.
first one. They're like, oh, money, nah.
The history of legalized
And let's get the
making
Christians on
illegal.
it, calling it the devil's lettuce.
Yep.
And fucking that shit will
It's
spread
just
like wildfire around the whole
No,
country.
devil lettuce was produced from pharmaceutical companies.
Well, yeah,
They gave it the name the
Yeah,
devil.
'cause they don't want people smoking
I
weed.
don't know if you guys have watched the movie, and it's called Reefer Madness. It came out in the 30s. It's a black and white movie, and it basically tells you what happens when you smoke marijuana.
Oh yeah.
This is when you smoke when you inject marijuanas. Sorry,
Oh,
you
yeah.
inject 3 marijuanas, and then you want to kill yourself.
What?
This is what happens according to a 1930s movie, Reefer Madness,
Wow.
which I'm not too sure, but it feels like it was produced by the pharmaceutical companies, so they could kind of push their own,
Yeah.
much more horrible drugs onto sick people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
opioids.
Opiates.
Yep. Well,
Opioids and opiates are perfectly legal. They
Yeah.
will
What are
bloody kill your
opioids?
life.
Just in case people don't know what
So
opioids.
opioids are they're particles which are made from the poppy plant, the red poppy plant,
Yeah.
the Anzac poppy plant. You
Oh, yeah,
turn
yeah.
that, you pre-process it, and it's basically heroin. That's what you're putting in. There's a lot of pharmaceutical
And you
drugs.
can buy that over the
Yeah,
counter.
over the counter. If a doctor's written you a prescription, you can buy that shit.
so technically one day of the year I'm walking around with heroin pinned to my shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Well, not heroin, but what heroin comes from.
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah,
the
yeah,
seeds,
yeah.
the
poppy
seeds,
seeds.
the poppy
Yeah.
seeds are where heroin comes from.
Yeah.
It's a concentrated fact. So.
Gotta be careful with the Anzac jokes there.
Oh.
Okay, guys, choose your audience.
We love
Anyway,
our veterans, don't worry.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mad respect. So, the other thing about it is accessibility, right? She said she wants to make it R20.
That's
I
good.
reckon that's fair because
Yeah.
the casino is R20.
Yeah.
And it's also 2 years more than R18 drinking. And, I mean, fuck, you should have been in uni by now.
Well, there's
or-
another reason.
Well,
why
yeah,
she's-
you don't want to be smoking weed during your uni years or your school years.
The other reason is
But
that they're
maybe-
making it
Unless you drop out, then go hard.
R20. The main reason it's R20 is because your brain's still developing.
Yeah, exactly.
Up until you're 20.
Yeah, and you can't.
For some people,
some of
it's
your frontal
developing
lobes
still
don't work.
now.
Some of your frontal lobes don't work. You can't make your own decision.
I know
Follow
sometimes
your
my
mates around.
frontal lobe doesn't work, and I'm not even, drunk or anything.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
Yeah,
it's times,
true.
So it just goes to show 20 is a good age.
So R20 is good because at the end of the day, it's safer than alcohol, and alcohol's still like fucking R18.
Yeah.
Cigarettes is still R18, so they've done 2+ better step there, right?
Yeah.
When it comes down to like the amount of accidents that happen a year, like that are unfair. Yes, cigarettes is there because they do secondhand smoking that kills other people. That's not their fault, right? But alcohol is the worst because that's like drunk driving. You just swerve in and kill that person even though they were like perfectly sober.
Generally,
Accidents
they
10 to
survive.
2.
Yeah.
Like
The drink driver usually survives
Survives.
the crash
Yeah.
because they're so relaxed
so
that when
loose.
they get in the
Yeah.
crash, they don't
Yeah.
stiff up and break bones or
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of stuff with like, oh well,
That's
what
what's
about
really-
what about marijuana if you're stoned and driving? But the thing is, I don't know what the statistic is on that, but I'm pretty sure people that are stoned, their brain's pattern would move in a slower. That's why people are like, oh, you're so stoned, bro, because it's all about slow, like slowness.
Slows
It
your brain
relaxes
down.
You aren't driving like you're drunk. If
You're not
anything,
swerving.
you're driving like you're 30 kilometers an hour,
In a-
paranoid for
in a
police, maybe.
60k zone.
You aren't going fast enough to fucking hurt anything.
How about
Yeah.
this one? I know a salesperson at my old job who accidentally installed something he installed a TV or something, right?
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Oh, do you smoke?" And he smoked cigarettes. So he said, "Yeah." And so this guy was probably like 3 months, 4 months into New Zealand, didn't really know about weed or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the guy gives him a ciggy and he starts puffing and he goes, "Oh, this tastes a bit weird." And he goes, "Yeah, no, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, it's good." And he thinks nothing of it,
Didn't even
keeps
know
going
it.
at it. And then he drove, and this is his first time being stoned, and he drove home. And the
He didn't know-
guy
obviously
that
know
was
about it.
smart enough to pull over because he knew he could feel something was different
Yep.
and sleep it off.
Good
He
man.
woke up 2.5 later to a cop banging on his window and said, "Hey, you're right there." And he said, "Yeah, I'm just having a nap."
Yeah, I'm just stoned as, bro.
Yeah, well, you don't obviously. No, but he was, because he didn't know, he told the guy, he's like, "Oh, I had this weird cigarette and I felt funny, and so I pulled in." The cop said, "Hey, let me drop you home.
Yeah.
It's fine, don't worry about it." So good on
Yeah.
to that cop. But it goes to show, if you're drunk,
Yeah.
your dumb mind will be like, "Nah, I can make it."
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
make
oh,
it."
drunkenness. Yeah,
I think under drunkenness, your mind doesn't actually try and argue with its dumb self,
No.
eh? Whereas when you're
So, bro, you shouldn't drive, but I reckon you could, oi.
yeah, because it's always egging you on to do
Yeah.
dumb shit. Whereas if you're stoned, I feel
You
like
get paranoid.
you
as
get
well.
paranoid, and your brain would be like, "Hold up, you want to do this, but what are the consequences?" It
Yeah.
makes you think.
I'm
It makes you think
guessing.
even
I'm
better.
guessing it feels like someone took a shit in your brain. So you're like so slow and careful.
I don't
and
know.
you know.
Yeah, I don't know what a
Yeah.
shit in the brain feels
Yeah,
like.
I
I
know.
don't want to actually.
That's what I feel like
True.
every morning after drinking alcohol. That's for sure. There's some
Yeah.
shit on my face and in my brain.
So-
we were talking about
yeah.
this recently, weren't we? That's right, guys.
It's another podcast.
Yeah, that's a bit of a segue from the previous podcast.
Yeah, well, the last week's one, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch that. It's all about the alcohol, so that one's a little bit more.
So this
rough.
is sort of a carry on to
Yeah.
it.
we're
other
just talking
things
about
that
drugs
sounds
now, aren't we?
what it
Drugs.
becomes.
The next one will be drugs and how to do them properly.
Just
with
sort of
live
drugs
demonstrations.
It's just drugs banter.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's just
No,
joking.
yeah.
Just joking.
But yeah, at the end of the day, regardless of what we say, there's referendum next year. So if you
think-
guys are
is
over
that
the age
next
of
year?
18,
Was
Yeah,
it
2020.
2020.
Oh, okay. So it's, I thought it was next month.
and I'm pretty
No.
sure
Oh, okay.
Jacinda Ardern is pro it. Kelly Swarbrick, who's some Green Party woman, she's for it.
Well, wouldn't
Jacinda
they have to be
Ardern's
for
for
it
it,
because
but more
she's part of
importantly,
the Greens?
Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger and Dan Bilzerian are for it.
Oh,
so
well, there
that
you go.
is
You
that
can't
is-
argue with one goat and the
Some-
richest guy.
Yeah, the richest guy
On
in,
Instagram.
in marijuana Instagram.
Also, the biggest guy, the biggest person that we can think of is also a fan of it. Old mate up there. He fucking made it, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, I designed this.
You mean the Cosmos?
Well, you can argue that. You can say, "I put it here for temptation."
But it's like, why?
He put it
Why
there
do
for
that?
everywhere.
So it's good.
This is the tree of...
But it's still the devil's lettuce.
I
you
reckon,
idiots.
I reckon this is the original tree of knowledge, eh? From Adam and Eve. It wasn't,
It wasn't an apple.
It wasn't
eh?
an apple.
It was an apple
It
bong.
was an apple bong with the golden cone. And that's what blew Adam's mind.
Yeah, and then he smoked it, and then she nipped the cone out of his bag, and then boom, that's it. That's the start of humanity.
That's how we got woken up. That's how the consciousness woke.
Eve tried to sell him a 20 bag for 50 bucks.
I hope you guys
That's
have got
like-
most of the references we've done today. Let us know your guys' comments on what you guys feel about. And, I mean, depending on how old school the person that you're talking to about this, just understand some people are going to be like, nah,
Yeah,
nah.
don't argue with it.
Who cares? Just honestly,
I had a pretty good conversation with my mother and father who are from the generation, from the 50s and 60s. These are people who have been brought up with the propaganda of reefer madness.
yeah, terrible.
And I explained it to them that what they know, what they've been taught is wrong. And the only way you can teach people is with information. So if you present them with the information that's been done recently, none of the when they got told that reefer was bad, there was no research done on it.
Yep.
It's been 50 years, 60 years since then. There's a lot of research that has been done.
So you're saying don't argue, educate.
Research
Always
yourself.
educate.
I mean, educate yourself.
yourself and then always educate people who are
Don't
ignorant
start
or
talking about
misinformed.
something you don't
Yeah.
even know about.
Yeah.
And
Check
you go in there hot.
yourself before
Unlike us.
you wreck yourself. Okay? And like, I mean, who's gonna argue with Auntie Helen?
Yeah,
Yeah, Auntie.
who wants to sit there?
She
and-
leads
and
the
argue with her?
United Nations.
Yeah.
She'll make you.
That's like plural on countries,
Yep.
right?
And let's unite this nation together with a referendum. So next year, when those of us who have the option, and you go out there and make the difference, vote yes.
And I'm pretty sure in Auckland, all our sewer goes somewhere and they burn shit. So I reckon what's better than burning shit might be burning marijuana.
Yeah.
That's TV3 News. That's a fact, by the way, guys. Look that up. That's the way our sewer goes. It's pretty bad. Anyway, final notes. I think I'm pro for it. So good on New Zealand, and way to go to make some money to give back to people that actually need it through taxes.
I'm against it, because I want to start a side business selling weed. So, just kidding, guys. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, I just signed a contract. I just signed a contract with the headhunters and the bees. So I can't be giving that shit out for free legally, eh, bro?
I'd like to finish. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Smoke weed over crack, MDMA, ciggies, or anything. Vaping even.
Heroin.
Don't do anything. If you're gonna do one thing, sure.
Besides oxygen, if you can, just oxygen.
Yeah, breathe that in.
Yeah.
Breathe a lot of that in, and then, you know, if you're gonna try drugs, maybe try this. And if you're thinking a bit low or you're a bit depressed, maybe give this a go. Can help. Can help.
I am.
When it's legal.
I am completely in agreement with both of these guys. I'm a staunch supporter of marijuana. I believe it's got numerous medical properties. It'll bring. It's an alternative for fabrics. I mean, you can make clothing out of it. You can recycle it. It's carbon negative. We don't always have to be a country that's relying on one industry to drive the nation's economy. Hemp could be, cannabis could be a massive boom that could come for us. And the other factor, as these guys already said, pharmaceuticals. You can depend less on antidepressants and all that crap. It screws with your system, whereas you can take marijuana and not get addicted to it, not be dependent on your antidepressants or the medicines that you're taking, and it'll help you relax in a normal way. You can enjoy it. You'll definitely.
It comes out. Yeah.
There's so many uses.
It comes out of the ground where most of your food does.
It's a magical plant that was given to us, and yet we treat it like it's scum.
I think before we want to close that off, let's go over some cons. Because we're pretty pro, but what are some bad things?
Very good point. Very good point, James.
That people bring up. So one would be being lethargic.
Yep,
you smoke too much, you do jack shit, and you sit on the couch. That's not
why
good.
it's called being stoned.
Yeah, that's not
Stoned
a good thing, guys.
is a stable.
Because you're a stoner.
Yeah, that's what.
Patrick's Rock. You're Patrick's Rock from SpongeBob.
Mate, that's what Elon Musk says. Elon Musk says that I don't normally smoke weed. This was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like, I don't normally. It's bad for productivity. There's a reason why they call it stoned, right? Yeah. Which is all good. It's good for relaxing and blah blah blah. But when it comes to
when you've got shit to do. You won't get it done.
Yeah, don't do it when you've got shit to do.
Unless you're smoking something that gives you a bit of a boost, but then it's probably laced with crack. So then stop buying whatever that is.
Or fly spray.
Cons.
Fly spray.
Another one would be like, hey, at the end of the day, if you can just go with water and oxygen forever, like some people do. That's
the best alternative.
That's the best alternative, but those people aren't lit, so fuck them.
Just kidding.
And there are
look, it's additional money you're gonna have to spend. That's another big one, right? Whether it's legal or not illegal, people are gonna still pay for this next year. If the law passes or the year after that, they're still gonna have to pay. That's where the taxes are gonna come from.
So you might as well put it back into our hands, and we get something out of it.
It's additional money out of your pocket that might not need to be. So that's another con. And other than that,
and there's health. There's health complications.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you've got anything like high blood pressure, heart issues,
yep.
Or any breathing sort of problems, asthma. Yeah, don't go near it.
And also, it's not for everyone. Just bear that in mind.
And
I have relatives who had a bad reaction because they are on another medication.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So if you are on medication, then you go to this.
Consult a doctor.
Don't go straight into it. Talk to your doctor. They'll know best. Even if you want to tell them that you're going to start because you want to use it as an alternative, be honest with your doctors. They will know. They can't tell your parents about it. Or anyone.
Because it's doctor-patient confidentiality, so you keep it in.
Another thing is that most people don't really talk about is probably like the cons is that if you are going to take it up and you are going to use it for whatever you're doing, meditating, whatever, you have to accept the judgment that you get from people that aren't for it.
Yep,
like your parents, like your work colleagues, like your partner or anyone else that doesn't know what it does for you. There's no way for you to describe it unless they have it themselves, right? So you have to accept the judgment there. Yep. And in worst case scenario, you're just going to have to keep it on the down low. Right? Even when it's legal, just be like, you know?
And you might get yellow teeth.
Yeah, and
and yep, anything that goes in your mouth that smoke will stain your teeth, right? As you can see, I'm not a smoker. That is why my teeth are fucking white as hell.
So for our listeners, we've got our 10% code below.
Yeah, but hey, you can check out Lovely Smiles in Newmarket. But
ask for JJ. Tell him we sent you. He'll look after you.
Yeah. But another thing is stained teeth and black gums and also bad hygiene and anything that's smoked towards it's going to smell. Those are the other things. But other than that, man, I'm struggling to figure out what else are the cons, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's something that came out of the ground. And like a goat, I like goat. Goats come out of the ground. I eat the goat. Everything's fine. So
Sure,
that's
they eat grass.
my final statement.
Wrap it
Okay.
up.
So I love goat
Wrap
curry.
it up.
Yep,
And I'll
sweet.
add one more
Hey.
thing.
Yep, and the other thing is that, hey, let's just recap quick second of what the last podcast have been about. Look, housing and sorting out your finances. Then we went to alcohol, how to avoid hangovers and drink safely.
Yep.
And now we're going into big shit like marijuana and the billion-dollar enterprise and the thing that takes over New Zealand youth, right? 3 major value point shows that you guys should talk about with your friends, get them to watch it, and most importantly, subscribe and let us know what you think because, hey, this is non-stop value here.
Yep.
Am
That's
I wrong? No.
Free info.
Which
You don't even have to read.
From experienced people.
This is the kind of stuff I wish people had told me. So
I
that's,
know,
that's
right?
why we're here, you know, and we're telling you guys. So
100%, 100.
So, yeah. Thanks for watching.
thank you.
That was it, eh?
Yeah, well, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yep,
combo.
sweet. It's been a long
If
one,
you
but
guys
hey,
think we missed something, please let us know.
We never do.
We want to know more about you guys as well and what you guys want to see. So open to suggestions. We love the comments like, yo, this is lit and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
yeah, this reminds
Type a
me.
little bit more for us.
Yeah, we should, yeah,
tell us a little bit.
we should make
what
a
you want
skit
on
about
it.
smoking weed as well. That'd be funny.
Yeah, and then other than that, I think that's us. Eh?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool as normal. Thanks
Last-
for watching, guys.
Last thing, smoke weed every day.
That's from a
Nate
song.
Dogg.
Nate
Yeah,
Dogg.
Nate Dogg,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. See ya.
See ya.